great day. Happy and healthy Bronx Week, everyone. Welcome to BX Factor, the small business competition with the BXEDC at BronxNet. It is an honor to host such an inspiring event with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and champions for our community here at the BronxNet Media and Technology Studios in the South Bronx. I'm Michael Maxnabi, the Executive Director of your public service multimedia network from the Bronx to the world with multi-platform channels and studios. And today we are here to celebrate not just innovation, but part of the identity of our communities, our small businesses. These mom and pop businesses embody the hard work and creativity, the heart and hustle of our Bronx, our home. It is thrilling to spotlight their talent here with the BXEDC during Bronx Week. As the Bronx's only public service network, the network created by, for, and about the people of the Bronx, BronxNet is an anchor institution that strives to amplify our stories, inform and inspire our community, and foster local talent. If you dream it, you can build it at BronxNet. And that's particularly true here at the BronxNet Media and Technology Studios in the South Bronx with immersive media studios, XR production stages, innovation labs, learning labs, and this beautiful Windows on the Bronx studio with beautiful vistas of the South Bronx. These are opportunities for our public and for our students. And today is especially exciting for us as we get to support the work of our beautiful Bronx Borough President, the BXEDC, and BXEDC President Rob Walsh, Marshall, and the entire team. And we at BronxNet, we have a great team as well, and we're proud to partner with the BXEDC, the Bronx Borough President's Office, and you know that we've built these studios for you. A BX Factor is more than a business competition. It is a reflection of our shared mission to uplift local entrepreneurs, provide them with a platform to thrive, and showcase the brilliance that makes the Bronx great and unique, an icon around the world. The energy here is electric. Put your hands together for the BXEDC, our Bronx Borough President, the BronxNet team. I am so excited to see and hear the ideas and innovations that will help shape the future of our beautiful Bronx. And now it is my great honor to welcome a leader who champions small business and thrivability and strivability in our great city. A leader who understands the positive impact of small business. Please join me in welcoming the 14th Bronx Borough President, Vanessa L. Gibson. Thank you.
Wow, we're taking Michael on the road. We always say Bronx strong, big Bronx energy. We are so excited to welcome you here. Thank you, Michael Maxnabi. Thank you to the BronxNet team. It's so great to be in this beautiful space and to have been a part of the growth of BronxNet from the campus of Lehman College to the site at Mercer University to right here at La Central in the heart of the South Bronx. Thank you, Michael. I love your energy. I love your spirit. There is no greater champion for the Bronx than Michael Maxnabi. So thank you so much. Thank you. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Buenos dias. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today at our official BX Factor Small Business Grant Competition. I am so excited to welcome you all here, and on behalf of our team, the Office of the Bronx Borough President, our Chief of Staff, Justin Cortez, is here, Robert Maragli is here, Arlene Makoko, my entire team, we thank you so much for the honor to be with you during Bronx Week. We are excited, as you know, our message this year, the Bronx will strive and thrive in 25. We are deeply committed and dedicated and driven and determined to always talk about the good things happening in the Bronx, lifting up our businesses, our entrepreneurs, our minority and women-owned firms in a real way, and making sure that everyone feels appreciated, valued, and a part of this work. We have been doing amazing things on behalf of our residents and families for the past 3 years serving as your borough president. And one of our signature events is Bronx Week. And because we are the Bronx, there's no place like us. It's not 7 days, it's 13 days. Rob Walsh and I say it's the longest week ever. And it is 13 days of recognizing all the people and places that makes the Bronx what it is. I'm so proud of how far we have come. I'm so proud of Bronx Week. It is a busy 13 days, but it does allow us a chance to put a spotlight on all the people that are doing amazing things and not always getting the recognition, right? The cameras are not always there as you are doing your work in your businesses and your restaurants, but we see you. We see the work you do. We see your creativity. We see your innovative work. We see the jobs you create. We see the fact that you are not only economic engines in our borough, but we are all about economic development and job growth because our pathway to success is through jobs and career pathways. And we believe in that work. And I'm proud that over our tenure, we've been able to lower the unemployment rate by 20%. From 26.6% to 6.8%. And it's going to keep going lower. I am a very competitive borough president, and I want to make sure that I can compete with my colleagues in the other boroughs because 6.8% is great. But unfortunately, we're still the highest of the 5 boroughs. So I need all of you entrepreneurs and restaurant owners and business leaders to help us as we strive to make the Bronx the very best that it possibly can be. So this is our second year of partnering with Santander Bank on our BX Factor, which I'm very proud of. They are great partners, and I want to thank you for your support. We'll hear from Santander very soon. And BXEDC has used this grant opportunity as a chance to really showcase our diversity, our vibrancy. We got over $100,000. We got over 100 applications from entrepreneurs all over the Bronx. And these are the 5 finalists that made it through the process. So we say congratulations. 100 applications is a lot. And what we're hoping is that each year, BX Factor grows and grows. And we've been very honored to be a part of this process and making sure that the small business challenge that we offered during Bronx Week is not only celebrated, but it really is a signature part of our Bronx Week celebration. And as Michael said, it is not just a competition. It is a friendly competition. It's an innovative way to talk about the spirit of our small business community, highlighting our local businesses in a real way, who create the jobs, who build our neighborhoods, who stimulate our economy. You reflect the culture, the creativity, and absolutely the Bronx hustle that we are proud to represent. So I want to say thank you again to BronxNet, to Santander Bank. I want to say thank you to Salsa Caterers. The breakfast was amazing. Thank you so much. You know, we always want to be fed, right? Salsa Caterers is amazing. I want to thank our president of BXCDC, Rob Walsh. Thank you for your leadership. Best decision that we ever made was to make the recommendation to the BXCDC board to appoint you as our president. We had an initial meeting years ago at the Riverdale Diner, and literally we had no paper, and Rob wrote out his entire agenda on a napkin. And I still have it somewhere in the office. I'm going to archive it, and I'm going to send it to the Bronx Historical Society. Yeah, because I'm sure at some point it's valuable in some way. But every part of the ideas and the structure of BXCDC was written on that napkin because Rob, formerly serving as our commissioner of the New York City Department of Small Business Services under the Bloomberg administration, one of the creators behind business improvement districts in our city. We've done a lot in these 3 years, and I'm very proud of that. We often say we are trying to find money in all spaces, including under couches. We're working with the federal government, the state government, city government. We work with everyone, because we want everyone to understand the Bronx is a great place to live, to work, to raise our families and do business. And we want everyone in the world to know and see what we see every day. Right, judges? We want everyone to see the creativity, the promise, and the potential that we represent here in the Bronx. So I'm excited to celebrate our finalists that made it. And of course, special thank you to our partners at the New York Yankees. They are the recipient of our Tourism Award this year. That's a small secret. But we are grateful to our Senior Vice President, Brian Smith, and the New York Yankee organization for always stepping up to help us. They are great partners. I also want to acknowledge, in addition to BXCDC, we are proud to have partnership at the Business Initiative Corporation of New York. We call it BICNY, and our president is here, Raphael Roger. Thank you, Ralph. So we do all of the loans, micro business loans, grant opportunities throughout the entire state. Ralph is traveling all over, from Buffalo to the Bronx to Brooklyn, but he represents us in the Bronx. So you make sure that the Bronx gets the most, right? Because that's where all the need is. And running our Bronx Week and a lot of our signature events like Savor the Bronx that we had in February of this year, when 71 restaurants were a part of Savor the Bronx, and you got a real taste of our diversity, is the Bronx Tourism Council. And our Director of Operations is Julius Drake. Thank you, Julius, and the team. They do phenomenal work. We celebrate them because this is not an easy undertaking. We start this work early in the year to plan for Bronx Week 2025. So I'm very excited. So Rob is going to introduce our judges, but I do want to acknowledge our fabulous finalists that are here today. So I always looked at the BX Factor as a Shark Tank style business competition, just growing up and knowing. And I said, this is great. I love it. It's friendly competition because you know what? All 5 of you are absolute winners and you are VIPs, and we celebrate you for not only making it to the finalists, but what you do every day. You are leaders, you are role models, and you are setting an example for others that follow you. To all of our young students, we're talking about entrepreneur. We're talking about building up the sector so that young people have a real chance. We're working with organizations, and we're starting at the high school level. High school sophomores are designing websites. They're making T-shirts, mugs. They're baking cakes, and they ultimately will grow up to be just as you are, business leaders. And I want to make sure you understand that we appreciate you, we value your work, and we celebrate your work. So you are all winners today. I'm so glad I'm not a judge today because I just can't. It's really hard because I see everyone as a winner. But I want to recognize that we have Yarn Bodega, Ismelda Molina Rodriguez. We have Green Developers, Kevin Shabazz. We have Fix It with Piggy, Ashonda Colcleasure. We have Nana's a Vegan, Naya Jarvis. We have Soul Cacao by Daniel Maloney. And I learned that means chocolate sun. Got it. Yes, yes. Habla español. Un poquito. So to each of you, congratulations for making it this far. Your creativity, your courage, and your commitment in building an idea into reality is something that is truly inspiring for us in the borough. During Bronx Week, and this is also, ladies and gentlemen, May, which is National Small Business Month. So we're working closely with our Commissioner Gross at SBS, and we want to make sure we highlight small businesses. We say eat local, shop local, stay local. Right? Those are our messages. Small businesses are the lifeblood and really the economic engines of our borough and the heart and soul of our communities. So we're grateful for all that you do. And with that, I am honored to move the program along today and introduce someone who needs no introduction, but someone who has been a tireless champion, a leader on economic development across our borough. We recently were together and competed for the Downtown Revitalization Initiative for Round 8 through the Department of State and Empire State Development. And over the years, $10 million grants were awarded to a county. So we were last awarded $10 million in 2015. But never in the history of the DRI initiative has one county got the entire $20 million until now. We got all $20 million. Rob, I left the check at the office because I usually carry the check with me. We got $20 million of the DRI initiative for Round 8 for the greater Morris Park community. I am so proud of that. And that's just one example of so many. We also got $1 million from the New York Power Authority about 2 years ago on energy efficiency and sustainability. And we made it a competition with colleges and universities. And we got 7 applications and proposals on campuses transforming their colleges to make them more efficient. And I'm so proud that the winner of that $1 million grant from New York Power Authority was Bronx Community College. Thank you, Eddie. So, ladies and gentlemen, happy Bronx Week. We look forward to seeing you at the remainder of Bronx Week events. And for more information for the full schedule, website www.ilovethebronx.com. Welcome, and now I want to introduce our president of the Bronx Economic Development Corporation, Rob Walsh. Thank you, Rob. Gotta get more money.
Thank you.
We're working on it. More money, more money.
You know, the borough president usually whispers that to me. You need more money. You got to get money. And we bring more money in, and I ended up giving it to the Bronx Community College. Bankers, what am I doing wrong? I can't believe this. You all can understand why we're so inspired here by this contest, because of this woman here, our 14th borough president, right from the beginning, right? I have never seen a greater champion for small businesses. This event was inspired by your energy, your enthusiasm. I've told your chief of staff, and I still believe this, there's not one Vanessa L. Gibson. I think there's 3 of them. Right now, there's a Vanessa L. Gibson cutting a ribbon up in Riverdale. There's another one out in Castle Hill at a YMCA. There's another one at a senior center. Well, that's 4 now, right? Okay, all right. So maybe there's 4. So, but it is really amazing to work with you and your team, and I guess that napkin worked. I have to get a hold of that, Justin, and see that. But this is a remarkable event, and we are all inspired by the 5 finalists that we have. It has grown quite a bit. Santander Bank, they deserve a big round of applause for staying with us. And, you know, usually when we go to places, Marshall, and we say we have this idea, people like Winston Peters, they run. You know, you guys stayed with us. I really appreciate that. And, you know, our mission remains the same. It's identify the remarkable talent, the innovation that's taken place here in the Bronx, and you can see that, and you can feel that, and we'll hear that today. And Michael, you and your team are remarkable. This studio, the investment that you're making in the South Bronx, the educating our next generation. Michael Max Nobby, one of the real gems of the Bronx, and there's an applause sign in the back if you don't see it. Let's hear it for him and his team. I get to work with an extraordinary team of people, Raphael and Luis and so many other folks who are out and about here, and it is really a group that has built this organization. Our financial and management team that often doesn't get the credit, but they're doing the hard work day in and day out. But today it's a special shout out to Marshall Strawbridge. Yep. For taking this vision, taking this idea and running with it. And those who have worked with Marshall understand this. Get out of his way. I don't know how they're dealing with you at NYU Wagner, but Marshall has something, just get out of his way and let him run with it. And it's just been amazing what you have done, Marshall, with this project and making it happen. Again, Marshall Strawbridge, thank you. I mentioned Santander Bank, and I want to bring them up in a minute. They share our mission, and that mission is to support small businesses, to get them capital access, to get them the resources they need so they grow in this city and they grow in the Bronx. And before we kick things off, today, I'd like to invite Dan Sauer, Santander's district executive, up to share a few words, don't you think? And I hope you'll recognize some of your team.
Yes, of course.
Otherwise, it might be like a job security thing.
Oh, yes. So good morning, everyone. My name is Dan Sauer. I'm the district executive for Santander Bank. So what that means is I lead 16 branches for Santander, so 10 in Manhattan, 4 in the Bronx, and actually a couple in Miami, Florida. I'm joined here today by our region president, Mike Bruno. So Mike covers more than 150 branches across the New England and the tri-state region. So thank you, Mike, for joining us today. And then we've got one of our guest judges here, Ashwani Agarwal. And Ashwani serves as the Chief Risk Officer for Santander US, and he's also the proud executive sponsor for AAPI, which is our business resource group, the Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders Business Resource Group, which provides developmental opportunities for colleagues and extends outreach to the community and more. So in May, this is a significant month because it's Small Business Month, and it's also AAPI month. So we're thrilled to be here for this special event. I also want to extend my thanks to some of the people that made this happen. So Tiffany Gomez, Dan Herdoon, Rob Walsh, and the entire Bronx Economic Development team for your unwavering support of small business development across our community. Santander's focus on equity and entrepreneurship aligns well with this organization's mission, so that's why consecutively, year over year, we've supported this event, and we're also fortunate to call the Bronx Economic Development Corporation a partner. We're incredibly honored to help launch the second annual Bronx Factor competition and excited to see many of the finals take place. I know this team has worked really hard on the presentations and everything that they're going to bring for us today. Congratulations to the 5 small businesses here today. You should all be immensely proud of the enterprises that you've built, and you're here today as representatives of the entire Bronx small business ecosystem. And on behalf of the entire Santander team, I wish all of you good luck today. In 2023, Santander Bank actually released a huge commitment, and that commitment was to mobilize $13.6 billion in community-related investments globally, including $100 million in charitable giving and $1.5 billion in small business lending. And our contributions continue to make a substantial impact through access to capital and technical assistance to entrepreneurs throughout our entire footprint. So this 3-year commitment is also known as our community plan, and it includes substantive commitments to supplier diversity and equity investments in small business as well. I will also share just 2 more items, which we are we have a signature Cultivate Small Business program. And the cohort for that program is actually right here in New York City. It helps early stage entrepreneurs across the country build and sustain businesses in the food industry and focus on historically underserved communities and low to moderate income neighborhoods. And we're also the proud partner with Hot Bread Kitchen and Babson to deliver the program, which has served more than 700 entrepreneurs since its launch in 2017. While providing more than $2.5 million in capital grant funding directly to the participants of the program. We're also currently recruiting for the next cohort for that as well. So once again, I just want to close just where I started, thanking the Bronx Economic Development Team for your important role in these activities. Congratulations again to the 5 small businesses that are part of the competition today. We're grateful for the opportunity to play a part in your journey. and we're excited to see your success firsthand. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and turn it back over.
Where's Marshall? He's out in the back? I see Luis in the back. Luis, is this where I asked Santander Bank if they're in for a third year? I guess I shouldn't be. All right, there we go. Okay. Do we got that on tape? Do we have? Eddie, I can't help myself. Right. Brian Smith with the New York Yankees just joined us. Brian, the borough president let the cat out of the bag. They've gotten the tourism award, because they just bring more than 3 million people to the Bronx every year. I mean, it's about time, right? Brian, and if you ever want a new left-handed pitcher, let me know. Okay, that's what I thought. It's the same response every time. Other board members, Julio Reyes is here. I saw him before. Is he here? Eddie Baradell has been mentioned before, and Winston Peters. All right. And I'll be recognizing our other board member here, Dan Herdoon, in a moment. Anyone I missed, because we could have a quorum, right, of board members here in a second. But let me now let's move on. It's about you, not us, right? And recognize the judges today. They have a tough decision. I don't have to say this, but you guys, I mean, this is going to be a tough one. You guys should know that I don't make the decision. It's their fault, okay? I brought the 5 of you here, so, let me start. Shwani Agarwal, the Chief Risk Officer from Santander Bank. Did I get that right? Yes. And you traveled from where today?
Today I'm DC.
From DC, just DC. So you got up at about 4 o'clock this morning, right, to get here?
No, I came in last night.
Oh, okay, all right. I was going to make a big fuss that he got up at 4 o'clock this morning and got on the first shuttle out, but that was a smart thing. I mentioned Dan Herdoon, our board member, and also the owner of the Bronx Create Hub. Yeah, we could put our hands together. Now, if you go to the Yankees' next homestand, you may see Dan. His operation is being recognized by the Yankees through the Bronx Beat, given the great work. This is 90 units of innovation, creativity, artists, makers, and entrepreneurs that make up the Bronx Create Hub. Borough President, I am now convinced that I created the Bronx Create Hub. I talk so much about it. So let's hear it for Dan Herdoon. And contestants, we had to bring back someone who knows a little bit about this contest, and that was last year's winner in the inaugural year, and that is Tiffany Gomez, owner of Gomez Design and Company. Tiffany, before we begin, and I ask the first contestant to step up, and that would be you, Esmelda. Any tips for the 5, as if they're not here? Any?
It's nerve-wracking for sure. Try not to imagine anyone staring at you, and just breathe.
All right, and talk to the judges, right? Yes. All right, so there we go. Are we ready to go, audience? Are we ready to go here? Yeah. Okay, let's introduce the first. Do we have a little music in the back? Well, maybe not. Okay, drum roll. First up is Esmelda Molina Rodriguez of Yon Bodega. Yon Bodega. This is going to be interesting, right? Let's talk about a business that is weaving creativity, culture, and community together. Get it? The Yon Bodega is set to become the Bronx's first dedicated fiber arts hub, inspired by the need for creative spaces and rooted in the power of healing through art. Yes. Founded by Esmelda, the movement honors her father's legacy and her own journey through crochet and spinning. But it's not just about yarn, it's about building connections, fostering wellness, and celebrating Bronx pride. Let's hear more from Ms. Melder, and let's get the ball of yarn rolling.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, judges. I'm Ismaela Molina Rodriguez, and I'm the founder of the Yarn Bodega. I brought a little bag of goodies and a prop because I'm not big on public speaking. And also, actually, I'm going to be pulling something out of there right now. So this is fiber. This is merino wool, and this is one way that I'm bringing, I'm grounding myself because, again, I'm not big on public speaking. And yeah, so I have my notes digitally. I did not realize I was going to be the first one. Taking one for the team. So, like I said, my name is Ismaela Molina Rodriguez. I'm the founder of the Yarn Bodega. It's a fiber arts business rooted in the Bronx and driven by culture, creativity, and community. So, during the pandemic in 2020, the last Michaels, or the only Michaels that was servicing the Bronx, closed down, effectively cutting off access to crafting and fiber arts supplies to the Bronx. Very reminiscent of when Barnes & Noble's closed down in 2016, and it wasn't until 2019 that the Lit Bar opened up, bringing us back into the literary space. So I would like to do that with fiber arts. What are fiber arts? Most of you might be asking. That would be crochet, knitting, embroidery, weaving, all sorts of textile arts. And most people think or associate those things with grandmothers, or when you're a child, you might have learned a little bit of something in camp. We want to bring that to the 21st century. It really is nerve-wracking. So, born from absence, built on purpose, the Yarn Bodega is my love letter to the Bronx. I've lived here for 25 years, almost 25 years in this summer. And it's also paying homage to my father, who owned a grocery store for 30 years. He recently retired. Actually, during the pandemic, he retired. And I still live in the building next to where his grocery store used to be. It's in the South Bronx. So it also reflects my journey with healing through the fiber arts. Again, during the pandemic, everyone knows it was a very hard time. I did go through a bit of a breakdown, and spinning was the thing that kind of pulled me back from a downward spiral. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a demo. So this is a Turkish spindle. Some people call it a cross arm spindle. And this is merino wool from a sheep that I had custom made with our logo colors. So I'm just going to, it's not behaving right now. But you just twist it around, and again, apparently the spindle is as nervous as I am. You pull the fiber down and just flick the spindle. I'll show this side because maybe it'll behave on this side. Gotta wrap up. Okay. So I guess I took a little longer than I expected.
So
okay.
that'll be fine. We have questions, okay?
So I'm basically tying up our business with mental health and hosting meetups at established businesses throughout the Bronx. So far, we've hosted at a hip-hop inspired cafe and a co-working space near the Yankee Stadium. And I will continue to host those, and if I were to win, I can use those funds, okay. I can use those funds to expand that and host demos, bring in instructors to showcase to the community.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Let's hear it for our- Stay right there because he's going to take some questions, okay?
Okay.
And be careful, he may take that back to DC with him. So.
So Esmeralda, maybe just you can talk about how long you've been in the business for and how it's going.
So we've been in business for a year. So far, we have an e-commerce. So we have a website, we have branded merch listed, and that's also where people can RSVP to our meetups. We also showcase them on our social media to bring the word out, and yeah.
Where have you had the most success so far?
Where have I had more success? So I did participate in 2 vending events. One in actually they were both in Queens. I had the most success in the first one because it was outdoors. It was in a park by Jamaica, and so people were coming and going. And yeah, that I did a yarn destash from my personal yarn collection to raise funds. And it was a really good turnout. They almost wiped me clean. Yeah.
Did a great presentation.
Thanks.
Can you walk me through your customer journey from beginning to where you are right now?
So the customer journey, I would say they would find us on social media for the most part, or the connections that I make. I do join different crafting groups and build connections there, network, tell them about the mission of the Yarn Bodega, and they attend our meetups and make more connections, and they want to see more of it. They're also getting a chance to see other Bronx businesses that they didn't know about, bringing awareness to that, also awareness to the different neighborhoods. The Hip Hop Cafe is in Hunts Point. Like I said, the co-working space is near the Yankee Stadium, which is a magnet for people. And I want people to learn and explore the Bronx and do it through the small businesses and through their creativity.
Thank you very much. Real let's hear it for our- She wants people to explore the Bronx and learn the creativity, and certainly you've brought creativity, and we really appreciate what you're doing. Bronx Terminal Market, is that right?
No, that's
You're-
where the Michaels used to be.
Right? But where are you located?
I'm currently working from home.
There you go.
Looking for a storefront.
All right, any storefronts out there? Anybody? Okay. All right, let's go to our next contestant. All right, we have a business that is redefining real estate with purpose. Green Developers is a mission-driven firm dedicated to building sustainable master plan communities right here in the Bronx. Founded by a Bronx native, Kevin Shabazz, Green Developers is committed to transforming undervalued land into affordable housing, retail space, and green spaces, all through public-private partnerships. But their work isn't just about brick and mortar. It's about creating pathways to ownership. It's about creating internships for the young folks. Beyond development, they invest the future through a paid internship program for high school and college students. Let's hear more from Kevin.
Good morning, everyone. So my name is Kevin Shabazz. I'm a real estate developer, as Rob said, raised right here in the Boogie Down Bronx, born in Montefiore Hospital, but raised in subsidized housing, grew up in subsidized housing. So that fueled me, actually. Made me think, let me make sure I pass this knowledge down to the next generation so they don't have to rely on the government to pay their rent. Now I lead Green Developers. a community-based real estate development firm that focuses on sustainability and affordable housing. So when I first started, I would go to industry events, networking events, panel discussions, and I would literally be one of the only Black or brown people in the room. And there'll be very few women. I just came from a conference, actually. The same thing, nothing has changed. One of the few Black or brown people in the room. Very few women. So I partner up with Lehman College. This is about 6 years now, where I do paid internships, pass this knowledge down so they can create generational wealth themselves. But I focus on vacant land investing with that group. That's a little bit more attainable. And proud to say, a lot of students have purchased vacant land. Just think about it, if you purchase vacant land at such a young age, what kind of jump start you would be right now. I'm very, very proud to have that initiative. So, build or buy the block. That's an initiative that I started to go in like hand in hand with the internship program. But the only difference is we go directly to the schools. Students use real Bronx maps. They use real estate development scenarios to redesign the Bronx neighborhoods that they live in. They take on roles like developers, city planners, environmental consultants, different things that shape a real estate development project. They work as a team. They present the redevelopment plan directly to a city council, a mock city council. This, first off, gives them a different experience because they're typically not, they don't really even understand or know that they have this type of access. Architect, engineer, planners. It opens a door completely, a career path that they may not have been available to them or knew about. $10,000, what will I do with that? I would literally start a pilot program to these Bronx schools, specifically the public high schools. Take the full toolkit directly to the schools. The trade-offs that they have, they'll have different trade-offs, affordable housing, sustainability. Not everybody's gonna be on the same page, but that's how it works. They eventually have to come to a common goal to redevelop that community. So we already have collaborations that we wanna do. One specifically is what a website called iPlan, where theoretically they do the exact same thing that we do in person, but they do it online, because everybody learns it differently. So they're working as a team in the school, then they can use iPlan, and they can work individually, the same exact goal. So I gotta wrap it up, so I'll move a little quick. So build or buy the block. So it's a pipeline, literally, for future Bronx students. To have them involved in these real estate projects. They see these big buildings going up. We want them involved in them, not sitting on the sidelines. So that's the initiative that I'm looking to bring.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Great job. You mentioned some of your strategic partnerships like iPlan. How do you plan on leveraging more?
I love that question because it was in here and I didn't get a chance to talk about it. So we have partnerships with some high educational institutions, Yale, Harvard. I went to a HBCU, so Howard. So what happens is these institutions have online courses, and I'm teaching these students to leverage the certificate that they get to either apply for those schools or apply for whatever career path that is related to what they're studying. So that's how I'm leveraging it. So it's not just teaching them, it's taking them a step further.
So Kevin, very good presentation. One question, I'm unclear on what your revenue model is. Is it through education to students or something else? Can you clarify that?
Absolutely. So I'm a real estate developer. We buy the vacant land and we build sustainable housing. The initiative that I was speaking about is something totally different. I've been giving back to my community since 10 years old. So this is just something I naturally do. So we look for grants, we look for partnerships. We actually already been reached. This is not something that I'm starting right now. I've done this in other boroughs. I've actually done it with St. Raymond's School as well. I'm a product of public schools, so I specifically want to give this to these public school students. I think they required it a little bit more, which I think.
That was actually going to be my question as well, but I think I'll take it a step further. And when you're partnering with schools and working with students, and they're helping kind of see the vision for the property, do they actually get to see these ideas come to fruition, or is this just all conceptual for them?
They're working on them. They're working on it specifically with me. So the goal is, as Tim would say, create an ecosystem. So that's what I'm looking to do, create an ecosystem of students and potential partners. I got to partner up with somebody with these big deals. I'd rather partner up with somebody that I'm actually connected to or working with, rather than a stranger.
Well, thank you very much, Kevin.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Jim.
Next year, we're going to carve out about 3 hours on these. We could hear on both these presentations. Remarkable. Our third presenter, the company is called Fix It with Piggy. And we're going to hear a lot more from Ashanda Kolkleischer, talking about how her business is shaping the next generation of tech innovators. Fix It with Piggy is all about empowering young minds through hands-on technology education, offering engaging courses in hardware repair, something I could use. Luis Garcia is shaking his head. Software troubleshooting and web development for middle and high school students. It's more than just teaching skills. They provide tools and the safe space for students to explore, create, and grow. Ashanda.
Pass out here. Fix It with Piggy. We're not here just to make a living. We're here to make a difference by empowering the youth. My name is Ashanda Kolkleischer. I'm the founder of Fix It with Piggy, an edtech company with the mission to spark curiosity in the youth and fight economic disparities by providing equitable tech education. We are dedicated to bridging the gap with tech and AI by partnering with schools and organizations to offer hardware, software repairs, and web development training. We also offer access to organizations who don't have space for tech programming. Our program runs on a fee-for-service model that allows us to deliver high-quality tech education to the youth in our community. Unfortunately, only 6.81% of Black Americans and 13.28% of Hispanics contribute to the tech workforce. And the Bronx, this number is even more pronounced, with over 100 high schools and only 18 of them being tech-focused career and technical education schools. We will allocate the funds towards securing a space we've identified in the Bronx, establishing a work-based learning site for middle and high school students, providing a centralized hub that will increase access for more youth. Our students will have the chance to work on real-life repairs and web development projects sourced from the community, gaining hands-on experience that will prepare them for future success in the tech industry. Establishing a centralized hub will reduce travel costs, expand our reach through strategic partnerships, and allow us to offer classes on a rolling basis, and in turn broadening our impact and growing our revenue. We've proudly partnered with local schools, trained hundreds of students, and earned recognition for our community impact. That includes the Lifetime Achievement Award from President Biden. Technology is the great equalizer, and with support from the BX Factor, Fix It with Piggy can unite and introduce our youth with tech education, supporting the closure of the Bronx's digital divide. Let's create a future where our youth don't have to leave their community to access tech. Let them acquire growth and opportunities right here at home.
Ashanda, I love the presentation and the mission and the picture, right? The whole attire is great. Tell me about your background a little bit, because I'm curious to learn about your background and how you got into this.
Tech is just, it got me out of customer service. I used to work in a phone store, and I didn't like the fact that we were just driving sales. It felt pointless, and I was wondering why the techs in the back were the only ones leaving happy. I used to pick their brains and just ask a bunch of questions, and I kind of just got into fixing phones from the phone stores. Later, I transitioned into doing tech from home, just fixing phones from home to keep a roof over me and my kid's head. Pick up and drop-offs during the COVID. We opened a shop in BronxNet. I got back into customer service. People only want to talk to you when service isn't good. And I realized I liked education, so in 2023, we transitioned into education.
You mentioned tech is the great equalizer, which is 100%, definitely. Talk to me about 3 of your top KPIs, and how would you track them?
One would be my growth with my students. We use a platform, a learning management system, where I'm able to track like their grades for attendance, grades with quizzes, assignments, and their portfolios. We create like with the web development portfolios, or if they're doing hardware, software repairs, we kind of track that differently. Also, I just implemented the relationship with parents and getting the parents involved and offering resources and extending that out as well. And then with the organizations that we partner. So students, parents, then the schools. And as long as we're hitting those metrics and the money's coming in with the schools.
Great presentation. You covered a lot of information, and so I don't have too many questions. But I am curious about let me see how I phrase this. When you are, just for clarification, are you working directly with schools and implementing programs into their current curriculum, or are you doing something separate from the schools?
So I bring my curriculum to the schools and we host on-site. The only thing is, because I'm just one person, I can't be in every site all the time, so we're looking to hold a location where the schools can come to us, or at least the high schoolers, and then we would still serve the middle schoolers on their locations.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I feel like I'm walking away from each of these presentations with a snippet. Tech is the great equalizer. You're not kidding. Our next contestant, Nia Jarvis. Did I get that right? Naya. That's what I said, Nia Jarvis. From Nana's a Vegan, a business that is redefining soul food while honoring its tradition. It's more than a restaurant, it's a movement. That's what my notes say. Bringing bold, plant-based flavors to the South Bronx and beyond. Inspired by a deep commitment to community and food justice, they make healthy eating accessible through delicious meals. Every plate is a tribute to the legacy and culture, proving that plant-based soul food can be nourishing and unforgettable. You're on.
Good morning. My name is Naya Jarvis, and I'm the founder of the first and only vegan soul food restaurant in the Bronx. But we're more than just a restaurant. Nana's a Vegan is a love letter to my community and to my mother, whom everyone called Nana. Before I tell you what I do, let me tell you where it all began. Growing up on Sundays, I remember waking up to the smells of Nana's home cooking. At 10 a.m., Nana's already in the kitchen going to work. Smoky greens, bubbling mac and cheese, the sound of grease popping. She grabs this big cast iron skillet and slides it on in the oven. The smell that fills the house? Cornbread. Golden, sweet, crisp around the edges. That was the first thing that was always on the table every Sunday. And it was the first thing that always felt like, that was the first thing that always said, "You're home." But when Nana passed, I not only lost her presence, I lost that feeling of home. At the same time, I was going vegan after doing a bunch of research about how to defy familial cancer odds and just to combat certain illnesses. So I went vegan. I found myself craving those nostalgic memories, the food that Nana used to cook, that feeling of home. But it was hard to do that, especially in the Bronx, a borough plagued by health inequities and just a borough plagued by health inequities and lack of plant-based options. So I decided to build it. I built Nana's a Vegan. I started my business in 2019, right before the pandemic, and I did pop-ups and events and catering all around New York City, especially in the Bronx. The response was outstanding. So I decided that I was going to open the first vegan soul food restaurant here in the Bronx with intention. We are currently located in the Bronx Terminal Market, down the block from Yankee Stadium. We currently serve plant-based soul food that is affordable, relatable, and sustainable. Using Nana's old school secret recipes mixed with a sprinkle of modern swag, we recreate Southern staples like her baked mac and cheese, her smoky collard greens, and of course, that cornbread. But why now? Why us? Well, the plant-based industry is booming. And at the same time, African Americans are the fastest growing demographic of vegans in the US, outpacing the rest of the population 8% to 3%. Yet the Bronx lacks the reflection of this. There's not a single plant-based establishment in the Bronx that fully reflects the heritage and the soul, the culture, that feeling of home, until now. I have poured my heart, soul, and savings into my business. But with your help with the $10,000, it would help me to continue my mission by hiring a marketing team that can actually help us get the word out and provide more customers with delicious vegan soul food.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, this is great. I'm assuming you can give us the menu so we can order right now?
Yes, we open at 12:30.
Talk to me about your marketing plans. I know you said you were going to hire a marketing team, but how do you promote yourself right now through marketing?
Right. So right now we primarily use Instagram as our marketing. It's been helpful because we've naturally grown our following, especially like doing all the events that we have done thus far. But we need a website. We need to hire a photographer that will basically capture our food and just be able to actually put it on the website and just get the word out. Like right now, a lot of customers that come into the food hall, they're like, oh wow, I didn't know you guys were here. And we're like, yeah, we are here. We've been here for 4 months. We've been open for 4 months now. But we definitely, in order to continue to be the staple that we want to be in the community, we definitely need to hire someone to help get the word out and just help us market the restaurant, because we have good food. Customers are loving everything about what we're doing, but we just need more reach.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
So you mentioned that you started in 2019 before the pandemic, and then of course the pandemic hit.
Right.
I want to know, what were some of your biggest challenges during this? Well, you've been in business for a while now, but especially navigating the pandemic, how were you able to survive such a drastic change? And what are some of your learning experiences going forward to navigate a change in market or customer base?
Yeah, so right before the pandemic hit, I had signed the lease for the food hall, and then construction was just like stopped because they couldn't construct because of the laws and everything that was happening. So what I did was I pivoted. Like, I was already doing pop-ups and catering. That was still something that was happening. The pop-ups, not so much, but definitely I started partnering with other organizations at the time, like Help Feed, and different organizations that were providing meals to the hospitals and providing meals to just those in need. So I was able to partner with a lot of organizations that would purchase food for me to feed the hospitals or feed just anyone that needed it. And so I did a lot of that, and just a lot of catering.
So just a quick question. First of all, great presentation.
Thank you.
In terms of your customers, right? Like, what has been the acceptance of this? You know, I know that plant-based food is coming up, but it's difficult to go from like soul food to plant-based soul food. So what has been the acceptance? Are you growing, or have you, stabilized, or where are you right now in the?
Definitely. So our trajectory is very positive right now. Our primary customer right now is not actually a vegan customer. Our 67% of our customers are not actually vegan, and that in itself says a lot about the food. I feel like because our food is so relatable, like we make fried chicken sandwiches made from a house-made seitan, but it tastes just like chicken, and we make plant-based oxtails. So we make food that's relatable, and that definitely has been just like the driving force, just of like getting people to come in and try it. I feel like a lot of people are interested in eating better, and especially in the Bronx where there's no options. So seeing food that's affordable, relatable, it definitely has been our greatest asset.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A show of hands from the audience. I didn't ask the question yet. How many of you guys were getting hungry out there? Right? I heard mac cheese. I heard smoky greens. I heard cornbread. Right? Do we got some of that stuff in the back? I mean,
We do. I have cornbread. I don't know. I couldn't bring it inside here.
Oh, of course. And if you don't win, do we still get some of that cornbread? I'm just checking. Okay. Our fifth contestant, patiently waiting. We're going to indulge in a business that's putting the Bronx on the map with chocolate. All right, now are you getting hungry? Right? Soul Cacao. Cacao? That's what I said. Cacao. Man, you got the wrong person. This is from those Mike Bloomberg press conferences that I hung out where he spoke in Spanish. This is the problem. Cacao. Okay, thank you. Maybe I should be taking these courses. BronxNet, do you have anything for senior citizens?
We got something for everybody.
Redefining bean to bar chocolate with purpose. And I love this part, creating local jobs, supporting farmers, promoting sustainability while delivering the highest quality flavors, blending tradition with innovation. Their mission goes beyond creating great chocolate, creating community. Let's hear from Daniel Maloney.
All right, can everyone hear me? Is this all right? All right, so good morning, everyone. I'm here to tell you a little bit about Soul Cacao, the Bronx first chocolate factory. And just to take it a little bit back, Soul Cacao is a play on words, soul, sun, cacao, the bean. And what we're doing is we're shining light on the nuance. So chocolate could taste anything from raisin, plums, cherries, to something earthy or floral, okay? So Soul Cacao was founded by my brothers and I, Dominic, Nicholas, and myself, Daniel. And we make chocolate in-house only using 3 ingredients. What makes us unique is we source cacao beans from all around the world, Ecuador, Peru, Madagascar, and Colombia. And you heard me right, here in the Bronx, we roast, we grind, and we produce single origin dark chocolate, which is elevating or raising the standard of chocolate. So above 70% is where you get all of the nutritional benefits of dark chocolate, the mental health benefit, the skin benefit, and that's what we're delivering, a higher quality of chocolate to the market here in the Bronx. Our mission is very straightforward. We're creating the ecosystem of future chocolate entrepreneurs by creating specialty chocolate jobs here in the Bronx. And our vision is to establish the Bronx as a world-class chocolate destination. Now, I can't just say that without some of the reality of the challenges. The challenges is 1/3 of the Bronx in Congressional District 15 lives below the poverty line, and there's a dire need for jobs and manufacturing jobs which are leaving New York City at an alarming rate. Number two is chocolate is America's favorite food, but in this $2 billion industry, the reality is the farmers make less than $1 a day. So that's just unacceptable considering the value chain. Last but not least, when we founded Soul Cacao and we launched, we were the first 100% Black-owned chocolate factory in America, which we had no idea that was the reality. So now that we're doing the good work, our mission is really to inspire that next generation. So some of the solutions we're actively doing is we're creating specialty manufacturing jobs, which is directly in alignment with offsetting the need for diversity within the chocolate manufacturing space. As a chocolate manufacturer, we distribute our products not only down the block to stores such as Motley Kitchen, but we also ship our products all over the country and in all major cities. And with that, we're bringing taxable revenue back into the Bronx to support our community directly. And then last but not least, we work directly with farmers. We go above fair trade. So we're paying them exactly the price they need so they could do the good work of preserving and being the steward of the land while taking care of their families in the same way. Now, with that being said, I think it's very important to talk about where we are today. So far, we've trained over 20 interns in the chocolate making process. We've spoken to over 800 students about the history of chocolate. I think chocolate is something that when you think about it, it's something in a lab that's very mysterious, but you don't think of it as it's a cacao fruit tree grown in the Caribbean. So with that being said, I leave you with these words. I hope you come with me on this journey to inspire the next generation of chocolate eaters, chocolatiers, and chocolate makers in the Bronx and beyond. Thank you so much.
So Daniel, great job presenting, gave a lot of good information. Tell us about how long you've been in business again, and what are your numbers like?
Sure. So we started our brand in 2016. Just one product, our Madagascar bar, which you're seeing on the table, the baobab tree. And before I answer the question, all of our products has three images, which is representative of my brothers and I. So that's like just a tip for that. But where we are today is we started in 2016, a very small scale, one machine, one grinder, one oven. That we reinvested consistently. We relocated. We signed our first lease here in the Bronx in 2019. The pandemic hit, but we turned that into a complete positive by pivoting just from direct to customers to online, and that really has sustained us up until today. It kept us going. So numbers-wise, I would say the last 3 years we've been over the 100K mark, and I think with the revenue from this opportunity, we could buy the proper machinery to potentially double that number this year. Okay.
Chocolate, yum. With all that's been going on, with tariffs and stuff like that.
That's right.
How does that affect your market?
So spot on, real reality in the industry, and this is where those early relationships that we built out when we first started came in full force this time around. We were able to lock in prices, keep our overhead down to weather the storm, so that Q3, Q4, which is our season, that's when we could really just unleash our manufacturing, the marketing, and recoup potentially losses that we're going to see with the tariffs as people navigate the environment. Mm-hmm.
Great presentation. Again, a lot of really useful information. You mentioned that you are currently working with about 20 interns.
That's right.
Where are you getting your interns from?
So we work with it's called UAU. It's like a youth employment initiative, and every 3 months we get 3 interns. That's a lot for us, but I say the more the merrier. And what I appreciate about speaking to them is it's right before they go to college. And I know right before I went to college, I wish someone would have sat me down and let me know the flexibility of what a major could be. So I give them the sort of up and personal experience of, how I ended up being a chocolate maker. But then secondly, I kind of helped him create a roadmap for what to major in and potential opportunities on the other side. And so I love doing it. It's additional work, but it's right in line with our mission of inspiring the next generation. So I'm thankful to do it.
Daniel, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Daniel, before I went to college, I wish someone sat me down for different reasons. There's a couple of colleges in the audience here, Manhattan University and Bronx Community College. Am I missing anybody else? Anybody? You're right? Lehman College? Lehman College is here? Okay. Do I hear Hostos? Do I hear Fordham? Okay. All right. What a incredible lineup. And I'm thinking to all of you, and I'm serious about this. This is not about one winner. This is about the Bronx. And this is about growing in the Bronx. And my hope, whether you're looking at a location, whether you're looking at a business plan, whether you're looking at capital access, that you're reaching out to our folks. We're here to help. And that's what this is all about. It's about growing your businesses in the Bronx and making things happen. When you start talking about, a destination in the Bronx, when you start talking about growing your businesses, that's what it's all about. Let's give it a big hand to these 5 individuals. They're remarkable. Boy, inspiring. Judges, now the hard part. You got to go into the chambers with Marshall. Is Marshall here? He's in the back. Marshall, he's right here. I kept looking in the back, where you're giving me make it short. You usually, Marshall, this is going to be like herding cats with these 3, coming up with one person. So scoot out. All right. We got some work to do in this room, in the chambers. I'm going to keep you entertained. I'm going to do a little singing. Okay, we got some flyers, last minute information, okay? We'll see how that works. Let's hear it for our Chief of Staff of the Bronx Economic Development Corporation for a very special presentation on something called the new app for the Walk of Fame. That's Luis Garcia. We call him the governor in the office.
As Ralph mentioned, we created a new app for the Bronx Walk of Fame, which is a 23-block corridor on the Grand Concourse, stemming 130 honorees. We have our brand new class this year, which includes NBA All-Star Kemba Walker. And the premise of this app was to bring it to life, bring every honoree on that into the palm of your hands and help you have something to walk up and down those signs. It's no longer just a sign on the concourse. It's now a story, history, pictures, images, websites of all of our honorees that grew up in the Bronx. And now we have a really special video that kind of showcases the app and what it would do and how everybody could download it.
Welcome to the Bronx Walk of Fame app, your all-access guide to the legends who have made their mark right here in the Bronx. For over 25 years, the Bronx Walk of Fame has been one of the most iconic traditions of Bronx Week, honoring the artists, athletes, leaders, and hometown heroes who have helped shape our culture and carry the Bronx spirit wherever they go. Now, for the first time ever, we're bringing that experience straight to your phone. Whether you're a lifelong Bronxite or just discovering the borough's legacy, this app gives you a front row seat to the stories that matter most. And right when you open the app, you're greeted with our newest inductees. We're proud to introduce the 2025 class of the Bronx Walk of Fame, 5 incredible individuals who represent the talent, spirit, and creativity that define our borough. Let's meet this year's class. First up, Kemba Walker. Born and raised in the Bronx, Kemba took his skills from the playgrounds to the pros, becoming an NBA All-Star known for his grit, leadership, and signature step back. His profile includes a story, personal photos, and a quote that shows just how much the Bronx still means to him. Next, we've got Damian Priest, a WWE champion, bringing Bronx energy to the ring every time he steps in. Tap into his page to explore his journey from our borough to international stardom with photos and a message from Damian himself. Here's Judy Torres, the unmistakable voice of freestyle music and a proud Bronxite through and through. Her profile highlights the hits, the legacy, and her message to fans who have danced with her every step of the way. Then there's Devin Rodriguez, a Bronx-born artist whose portraits of subway riders made him a global sensation. You'll find his story, his artwork, and a quote that brings you right into his world, where art and the Bronx go hand in hand. And our People's Choice inductee for 2025, Gary Axelbank, who is a Bronx journalist, Bronx Talk host, and lifelong advocate for local voices. His profile captures decades of service, community conversations, and his reflections on what it means to represent the Bronx behind the mic. Each profile includes a detailed bio, photos, and a quote, all in one place for you to explore, reflect, and celebrate. And once the official signs go up on the Grand Concourse, you'll be able to see their exact locations right here in the app. You can also explore past inductees, browse by industry, and search for your Bronx favorites, from chart toppers and champions to educators, activists, and local legends. The Bronx Walk of Fame app is a celebration of who we are and where we come from. Download it now on iOS or Android and take the walk with us.
As my colleague Jolene said, please download the app and come take the walk with us. The app also has a really special small business directory that highlights all of the small businesses along the concourse. So please join the app, come to a local bar, and then join us at Yankee Stadium for a game. We have the Mets and the Yankees this weekend, so that's going to be a great time to visit the app and also see the Yankees. I intend to see more people recognizing those who came before us and those who are still kind of making their mark in the Bronx. Many people, when I started this project, I didn't realize we had 130 names. I never expected to have to redo 135 signs, but it was a great project, and I was able to learn about people that I never knew were from the Bronx. So just making sure people know that their greatness can come from the Bronx, and we have icons in the Bronx.
So one more, where would people how would they download this?
The app is available on both the Apple Store and the Google Play Store, free to download, and it's pretty quick and easy.
And what is that?
It's on the Google Play Store and Apple Store where you download all the apps.
Excuse me, I'm trying to the code. What's the code?
Oh, Bronx,
yeah,
WOF.
I can get there. Come on, guys.
Shows up right away.
In all seriousness, people have walks of fame, but I don't think anybody has a app. And I keep thinking about all of those people that we hold hostage every day in something called jury duty, right? And they're, I often see them on the steps of the courthouse, and they come out and they say, "Where could I get a sandwich?" The judge said he's going to take an hour and a half, 2 hours lunch. Can you imagine that, a judge taking 2 hours lunch? I mean, and this is a great way of doing a self-guided walking tour along the concourse. It's also a great way of celebrating what's going on in the concourse. For those that are not familiar, the Museum of Art is undergoing a $40 million renovation there. We got one of the largest collections of Art Deco in the world, right? We're seeing new developments, new housing, new mixed-use developments, investments of small businesses in the area, and this is another way of how we end up celebrating that. Not just on Bronx Week, but day in and day out, and folks like Luis Garcia and Jolene Barrett have been behind this. I am now filibustering, waiting for the judges. Michael Maxnabi, would you like to come up and talk a little bit about BronxNet?
Yeah, absolutely. And Rob Walsh, a round of applause for BXEDC President Rob Walsh and the entire team. Where we are right now at the BronxNet Media and Technology Studios, for decades, this was a vacant lot with rubble. The former borough president recalls playing in this rubble as a youth. Now it is affordable housing. It is 2 anchor institutions in the YMCA at La Centrale and the BronxNet Media and Technology Studios. And we invite you to tour these spaces after this fabulous BX Factor program. We also have art exhibitions coming up, including Perception on June 12th. And again, these spaces are for you, so connect with us. In addition to these magnificent adjacent spaces, we have a magnificent team at BronxNet. These are passionate local people. These are media leaders like Walter Garrico, our Director of Creative Services. We've got Audrey Duncan, who you can speak with here, Kyrie and Gabriella and our whole team. And it looks like the judges have entered the room. Something is happening.
Say that went pretty good, right? Okay. Really, the credit goes to the small businesses that we showcase here today. I want to first say congratulations to each one of you for, one, making it this far, but also for your preparedness and the way each of you presented your business and your ideas. You really all should be very proud of yourselves for how you represented your work today. And I'll just echo the point that Rob made earlier. My hope is that this marks the beginning of you all, each of your relationships with the Bronx Economic Development Corporation as we continue to make good on our mission to support small businesses. Gotta say a special thank you to our sponsors at Santander again, but I really want to name, and he's not in the room right now, but the other person who is really been in the trenches with me putting this event together for the last few weeks is Toby Turney at Santander. This would not be possible without him. And of course the team at BronxNet for producing this event and hosting us here today, Salsa Catering for the wonderful food. It's all been an effort from a number of different partners to make this event successful. Finally, I want to say thank you to the BXCDC team for their support throughout the last few days in bringing this all together. But the reason why we're here, we want to announce the winner of the BX Factor. We were a little longer than we were last year. Last year we came back with a decision pretty quickly, so it was really tough this year. And guess last year was no easy call. But so the way this works is we'll do 2 awards for $2,500 for the first 2 runners-up, one $10,000 award for the winner, and then 2 honorable mentions will walk on with $500. So the honorable mentions. Congratulations, Green Developers and Yarn Bodega. Walking away with the $2,500 checks are Soul Cacao and Nana's a Vegan. And, process of elimination. Congratulations, Fix It with Piggy, on winning the 2025 BX Factor Small Business Challenge. So, do we have the other Sharpie? So, you want to come in and hold it?
I'm happy to, I need to sign it there. For you. For me, it's okay? All right. Don't try to do this on 149th Street, okay? Wow, look at this, huh? Marshall Strawbridge. Fix It with Piggy. Say a few words for us.
Oh, thank you. I am a woman of very little words right now. I'm just excited. I teach in 30 minutes, and I just can't.
Brian, you got something for the finalists, don't you?
I think I can work without this mic. I have 2 boys at home. I'm used to kind of elevating my voice. But congratulations to all the finalists. And for me to come up here now and follow what you guys represent, I'm in a tough spot. But I am happy to say this is a prime example of why the Bronx is thriving, why the Bronx is on the map, and why the Bronx is taking care of business. So thank you so much. We also would like to recognize everyone, all of the finalists here at Yankee Stadium on June 4th on the field where we can showcase what you represent for the borough of the Bronx at Yankee Stadium. Rob, it's a pleasure working with you and your team. Let's keep getting things done, and I'm excited about this partnership and where we're going. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you much. Brian Smith.